I didn't show y'all nothing, or remember even that I went live, I guess. Hi. It is I, the Dick. Prismatic Duck. How you been? How you doing? Go tame those rats and get your skill up, idiot. Your life is pretty great. Well, that's good. Mine too, actually. I tweeted that today. It's a weird feeling. Not sure how to react to it. Pretty great. I don't quite have enough time for everything, all the greatness, but I'm doing my best. Surviving, you know? Sleep's not needed. I've learned. It's fucking a lie by fucking Serta. Big Serta. You ain't hit shit here yet. Oh yeah, you're really bad at this. Go away. Dude. Oh my god, you hit something. You're winning. I mean, I'd like to say it's regular. That's probably a lie, but I'd like to say I am. It's more regular than other times where it was less regular. Does that count? If you'd asked me a week ago, I'd have said I've been streaming pretty regularly, but like I just took like 3 days off. Dealing with some, just life. Not really dealing with too much. A little bit. Was it Baltro Beta? Balatro? Alice had her first softball practice tonight. I was proud of her. She was nervous. 4 a.m. Yeah, I hear that. I don't get to stay up as late as I used to either. Yeah, softball. I'm excited for her. I'm really, really disappointed in her coaching. Today, her coaches consisted of a bartender I know, and the town drunk. So that was something. But like maybe they know baseball, softball, whatever. Some quality coaching staff. It's fucking still elementary baseball or softball technically, so like the majority of softball, I mean, it's fine, but it's like, male coaches. Pitching's the weird one. My fiance pitched all through high school and was pretty serious about it. And she had a male coach, though, which I find incredibly weird. Because it's such a unique fucking pitch. Underhand and whirly twirly, and I just don't know where a man would have learned it besides like watching videos on the internet. Someone feed that baby. The baby is starving. Preferably someone with teats. Thank you. You can milk a rat. Down, 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 down. But we'll see. It's fucking early sports. I assume it's gonna be those three dads putting their daughters in the positions they want their kids to play, and then just smacking kids around into other spots and not giving too much of a fuck about them. That's my prediction. We'll see if I'm correct in a few weeks. And it's still, like I said, it's still elementary ball, so whatever. She liked it. She had a ton of fun. She's excited for next week. My kid ain't excited for nothing. She's the age where she's not excited for anything. Except the next fucking FaceTime call from her friends. She's driving me and her mother nuts with the attitude, man. Overnight, she just became a fucking bitchy teenager. And it sucks. I get why people have another one now. It's because their first one becomes a grumpy teenager. And they're not fun anymore. You just block that out and have a new one. Replace them. I don't feel like I could do anything different except like become an incredibly strict parent. And like to the extent of trying to like pick her friends, which seems dangerous. It's not even cuteness, man. It's they don't like anything. They don't want anything. They don't want to do anything. Everything's fucking cringe. I was fucking... Ugh. And like, I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't have the same attitude when I was older than her for sure. I don't think I started as young as she is, but she's not a bad kid. She still does, she still listens and pays attention. She just has this fucking everything sucks attitude that drives you insane. My dad never hit me. My mom spanked me a few times. I remember laughing at her and her whooping me pretty good once. I don't know. My parents got divorced and my mom worked all the time and I pretty much just had free reign to do what I wanted. There wasn't much controlling me. So I can't really complain too hard. I think I was like 14 the first time I just like disappeared for a week. I was with a friend. I just didn't, it was pre cell phones and everything, so I just didn't tell anyone. I never got the soap in the mouth. That one's fucked up. I don't support that one. I'd rather spank a kid than put soap in their mouth. Not trying to say your parents are fucked up, but I am a little. And it's for such a dumb thing like swearing. I don't. Well, maybe yours wasn't, but I've seen it done for swearing, and I feel like that's a really dumb reason. Oh, God. Oh, God, what have I done? You know. I guess that's the point. I mean, yeah, it's. I guess that's the point. But like, soap can also give you fucking diarrhea and shit. It's like not. I don't know. I don't. Like I said, I don't support it. It feels very barbaric to me. Worse than a swat on the ass. I think. Again, I don't spank either, but I think. Like in my day, it was the like, come here, let me spank you shit is fucking psycho as well. Like, come here, present your butt to me, and now I'm going to whoop on it. It's like, even if you don't hit him hard, it's just the like whole come here and let me spank you shit that I think is just, it's creepy. If you swat a kid on the ass because they're misbehaving in the moment, you swat them on the ass. I don't know. I wouldn't hate you forever. Was it for swearing? Yeah. See, like, I don't know. That seems super. To me, that's super. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't get. I wouldn't be behind that one. Or like the real old timey, go get the belt and then bring it to me so I can smack you with it. That's fucking psycho. Just psycho. Like, no, I can't find any other explanation for it besides psycho. Whoop your ass. I had a teacher drag me by my arm one time and my mom flipped shit. And honestly, I thought it wasn't that big of a deal and I deserved it, but I felt really bad he got in trouble over it. It's like I was being a shithead, and I liked the teacher. I was just being a shithead that day. A marriage. Teacher, you're good. Yeah, I would never. I would never allow that to be okay. Don't miss the wedding. Should have brought the babies. Got my ex-wife's new husband and his son were playing catch during my daughter's practice, and I don't know exactly what pissed the kid off, but well, his dad, my ex-wife's husband. I don't get why he was so mad, but that boy fucking cussed him out so bad under his breath, but like out loud. Just they were playing catch far enough apart that dad couldn't hear it, but I certainly could. And I was like, God damn. I didn't rat him out either, because like kids had it tough, dude. I don't think his dad is a horrible person or anything like that, but they're not very, him and my ex-wife just aren't very, in my opinion, they're not very supportive of the kid situation. His mom just went to prison last year for fucking shooting somebody. He's fucking 9 years old or whatever, and his mom shoots somebody, doesn't kill him, and goes to prison, and he ends up having to live with his dad that he only saw on weekends. Like, that's fucking tough, dude. You know, kids got some emotional damage, as they say. Who the fuck were you with, Tyrell? I've already forgotten. You're fucking Glither, right? So yeah, he's a bit of an emotional mess, and I don't know. I don't feel like they're very supportive of it. So I didn't rat him out. I just told Alice to tell him he better be careful who's around him when he's that kind of language. Oh, that's sad, Evan. Even. Dun, dun. I ain't a rat, but somebody might be. I told her, don't even tell her who said it. Just somebody heard you cussing your dad out. I don't know. I'm also just like weirdly observant of that shit too, man. I feel like a lot of parents take the time at like, softball practice to just like fucking not think about what their kids are doing. And I'm over here, can't help myself but hear you cussing at your father. You are still alive? You have a child? Simtoric, I believe, is your child. Yep. You're still sticking it to Glither. Do I have to reset you to have babies? Oh, wait, you can't yet because you're still milking. Nah, thank you for the tier 2 and the 101 moons. I feel bad, so I don't know really know shit about baseball, so I can't help my kid much. Like, I understand the basic rules, but I have no idea on, like, technique for fucking hitting, throwing, catching, any of that shit. None. I'm in the fucking... I'm in the dark with all that, though. Can't stop making them. Yeah, that one's tough, man. I don't know. I think there's the overachieving parent too, though. They have the time, and they think they're doing their kid a favor by like fucking sticking them in every potential after school activity, party, fucking competition. That like, at least in America. I don't know if you're in America now, but at least in America, like, I can't believe the amount of parents that brag about the fact that they only see their kid like 2 hours a day. And their kids will probably like be rich and have cool careers and whatnot, but they'll also be addicted to fucking Xanax and Adderall. So, you know. The Wombo combo. This is kind of a scary raid, actually. I might just take it to them now while it's raining and their fire is less terrifying. Is someone carrying a baby? Oh shit. This did not go the way I wanted it to. Psycho breathing with 87 months. Fire. Look at this fucker. Jealous, nervous, and you eat a lot. And all you do is shoot good. Oh, you're unwaveringly loyal. Well, I don't gotta make any decisions there. The Anomaly's the new DLC that comes out in like a day. That went okay. I don't think we have any serious injuries. Couple of burns, maybe. Couple of cuts. Thank you, Psycho Brew. Are you actually injured or no? You're just fucking carrying a damn animal. Did you go lay down somewhere? Some cool new roguelike. No, it's not that. I don't know nothing about no dang roguelikes. Huh? Don't you want a special kind of clothing? You do. A broad wrap. Nah, I haven't played Isaac in a while. I think about it once in a while, but I don't know. It's a hard one for me to go back to. Just feels like I would only be doing it for the money. And, like, obviously so. I'd have a very hard time playing it and not making it very obvious that I don't really love this game no more. Because, like, not only do I not like the game, I despise the developer and the company that publishes it. Not only for 53 months. But I think about it all the time. Lately, especially, I've been, I don't know. I've always wanted to just force myself to go back and do, like, even if it was just like a once or twice a week thing where I played a few hours. I don't know. He's got his new cat game coming eventually. I'm sure it'll be decent and wildly successful because he has a psycho fan base. Listen, dude made a fun game. No doubt about it. Can't deny that. He then has spent the next 10 years attempting to ruin that fun. Not really. It's not even ruin the fun. He's attempted to fucking curate the fun in a specific way that he sees as the best fun. Anytime you don't play his new content or love his new content, he gets angry and tries to force it down your throat, but you know. Like, they literally just shut down the beta for something. I don't. Oh yeah, for the multiplayer mod. Not mod, multiplayer content that's coming for it. Because they did the exact same thing they did before and left fucking spoiler information in the code. and they're mad that people found it. So they took it. They literally said, like, y'all can't play it the way we want to, you two, without spoiling things. So we're taking it away from everyone. Which is like just such baby bullshit, dude. Y'all didn't learn from your mistake, and now everyone has to suffer, including your game, because you're not gonna have people beta testing it now. 3 years since he requested to be unbanned? Never. And that's like just tip of the iceberg. But they're fucking egotistical as fuck, and both of them, Tyrone and Edmund, and fucking, I mean, yeah, they're nuts. Like, I would bet my left nut they both beat their wives. I'm that confident. Like, when Tyrone got caught being racist, the crazy thing that a lot of people didn't realize is, like, the majority of his racism is targeted at his wife, who he feels he's allowed to be racist about because it's his wife, and because he's Mexican, though she's Asian. The rules don't apply. I heard him say it multiple times. When people would, like, cringe at his racist jokes about his wife, he would then, no, it's fine, I'm Mexican and she's my wife. Fell straight thing for the 25 months. But I mean, his entire game company preys on taking advantage of struggling developers, and then either completely fucking ignoring them when they fail, or attempting to steal the entire spotlight and claim their success as your own. Cave Story. I think that's the one, right? I don't know. I didn't play it. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it was something along the lines of it was a stolen idea from a developer and never could be proven. Probably because they fucking wrap everything they do in a million NDAs. I mean, I still find it, like, I can talk a little more about it now because I'm a little further apart from it and they probably won't come after my ass legally. But, like, I still find it hilarious that nobody recognizes how fucked up it is that literally every single person Edmund has ever worked with has left him and can't talk about it. One of the, like, I mean, warning, 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 danger, Will Robinson, danger. Like, how can you have a game that's as successful as something like Super Meat Boy and literally every single person that's associated with that game doesn't speak to you and cannot speak on it? And people not recognize, hmm. Thanks for the garbage. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it'll ever. I mean, Edmund said he was going to part ways with Tyrone after Tyrone got caught being racist. He didn't because people forgot about it. He claims that Tyrone has changed to the like 3 random people who ask that question every once in a while in his Q&As. Like, you worked close. I only met Tyrone like 6 times, and he was racist every single time I was with him. So, like, there's no way Edmund has worked with him as many years as he has directly and didn't know. There's a bit of circus. I don't care. Like, I don't think everybody has to give a shit about developers. I don't think everybody has to choose not to play develop games because they're the dev shitty. I really don't. Like, I hate to say it, but whatever, dude. Like, I'm not telling y'all to save the world and be the best man. Don't get me wrong. That I I don't work with them and won't work with them because they were shitty to me and because of all the other bullshit that goes along with it, right? Like, it's my choice and I don't really give a fuck what y'all are doing, but I can't. I'm not gonna just ignore it either, I guess, is what I'm getting at. I dislike them, so saying mean shit feels good. How about that? The Cinco de Mayo shit he pulled on me? Yeah, that was stupid as fuck. Down, 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 down. Or Edmund, the time he fucking had Cobalt come up to a hotel room to play some early Isaac content and made me wait outside the room. Like, come on, bro. You know damn well he's gonna walk out of that room and tell me every single thing that happened. That was a power trip for you just because you can. Just because you can. Let's make things awkward between these two. That'll be fun for me and my ego. Why'd he go in? Because it was good for his career. He thought. And I didn't blame him, dude. Like, Cole and I were tight, man. I'd have stood outside that hotel room all night for him if it meant he got a chance at some fucking early Isaac content. We know how valuable that is to both of us. So like we worked really, really closely together, man. I would make big sacrifices for Cobalt, or and vice versa if necessary, because in the long run it would benefit us both financially. So like whatever. I talked about it the other day, but Cobalt and I like we had a fun time. Fucking me being Dick and him being Cobalt, him being the lovable fun guy, you know, and me being an asshole. It's good fun. And we got a lot accomplished for a lot of years. We played the game well together. Yeah, we did it. We definitely did a good cop, bad cop. The crazy part is no one, anytime I was being an asshole, no one ever even like ever even asked Cobalt like if he had anything to do with it, or like what the fuck's Richard's deal. Like they always just left him out of it. It was so funny. As if we didn't plan it together, you know, like yeah, yeah, yeah. Like even the seven, we would do those fucking marathon streams. Like I would get fucking so much shit from other streamers about, you know, basically we would hoard the content. It was intentional. We knew what we were doing. We would hoard the content, and like all these streamers we were friends with, but like at the same time we're competition. I've said that since day one. Streaming is the weirdest world of, yeah, we're coworkers, but we're also competing. Yeah, sometimes we work together, but for the most part we're competing. Um, and yeah, so I'd get all these fucking angry messages from people about like, or they'd start nice and be like, hey, anyway, you could like let us and get involved and get a piece of, no. Nah, I'm good. And like, you know, I didn't mind fucking just telling people no, you know? I'll burn them bridges, all them bridges down. Down, 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 down. Gonna need more fridge space? Nah, it's working perfectly. I need to cut stone. But I also need defenses, because I'm very valuable based on just like cloth and garbage. But yeah, it was good times. Like I said, I'd love to someday have a reflection with Cobalt over all the silly shit we did. Twitch was so much tighter knit back then too, man. Like it was a big fucking game of not offending people. I mean, that was the whole Me Too movement and everything on Twitch was like, if you remember me getting, I think that's when I really started to step away from Twitch, was like, it really annoyed me how many people. How many people acted like they were oblivious to what was going on? Like the Witwicks and Jen shit, everyone knew. Everyone. There wasn't a fucking a streamer with over 300 viewers that didn't know fucking Witwicks and Jen's relationship was absolutely psychotic. Everyone was aware of it. Um, Everyone knew about the fucking CS:GO shit being a scam. Everyone knew fucking who was a fucking incredibly dirty, horny pervert. The Tenchis and all those guys on that list, like that. Yeah, man, it wasn't a secret. So when all these streamers acted like they were shocked and all, fuck off. No, you weren't. You were at the same fucking parties I was. You saw it, and you just turned a blind eye because everybody was. I did too. I don't know, kinda. Not like I'm the police and or someone who could. There were definitely some of them I was still friends with. Like, I was friends with Whitwicks for way longer than I should have been. I knew he was a fucking scumbag. Like, a drug addict more than anything, I think. Honestly, I don't really know. That's just an assumption, but, you know. Shelves in the fridge. Yeah, I'm worried about my value. Well, people are shit. Yeah, so I'm glad. So, I mean, I just kind of stepped away from everybody. I don't really know nobody on Twitch anymore. He's streaming again. I mean, I hope he's got his shit together. I hope he's got his head on straight. I don't know. That's all I can say, right? What else am I supposed to do? We were friends for a while, man, but it's always fucking weird, dude. Same deal. He got big and got like weird power trippy. I remember when I was dating Grizz, him like just walking right up to me and Grizz and like uh basically telling her that she shouldn't be with such a fucking small streamer when she could be with someone like him. And like Witwix is always that fucking personality of even when he's joking, he never gonna look like he's joking. But like it went on for a really long time until it was like super uncomfortable and like I just tried to laugh it off like that's Witwix, but like nah, dude, you're just a fucking power hungry creep like most people. Yeah, man, you gave a bunch of fucking me maybe they 9 months. You gave a bunch of there's some weird ones too, like fucking Casper and the I don't even know what was going on there, honestly. That one blew me away. Like I knew he was a horny little pervert, don't get me wrong, but like we we're the internet. We're surrounded by horny perverts. Uh but like when the shit came out that he's like fucking flying people on charity dime to try to fucking hook up with him, I wasn't that shocked, I guess, but like I was more shocked that anyone was falling for it. Cause like you know it's charity money. Dude got like 82 viewers in his peak. He ain't affording to fly you all over hell. He just fucking completely vanished, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's definitely one that did not deserve a platform anymore. Literally stealing charity money to fucking fly women to conventions just so he could like hit on them is fucking. But again, this is a dude who, I'm sorry, I'll say it, probably had zero attention from a single woman until he was on Twitch. The wheelchair? That's OG as fuck, dude. The old wheelchair guy. He still streams, I hear. Well, that was years ago, but I heard he didn't quit. That he just fucking basically bans anyone who fucking brings it up and just kept on going. For those that weren't around 20 years ago, there was a dude who used to stream in a wheelchair, like raised money for like a fancy wheelchair and everything, and then stood up on stream when he thought his camera was off. I laugh because it's such a stupid mistake. It's such a dumb mistake. I can only walk when the camera's off. Probably shouldn't stream then. Just saying. It's crazy. Some streamers still show up in here that like I know some fucking shit about them, and like I just don't even bother. What's the point in having the fucking argument here? I think it's more funny that they show up and act like I didn't like you then. Now I know all this shit about you. You know I don't like you. What are you doing? Are you really crazy enough to think that like we're ever gonna fucking be friends? I don't know. Weirds me out. There's a few of them. One guy shows up kind of regularly, where literally a girl called me, another streamer girl called me at a convention and was like, yo, dude's being fucking hella aggressive. I need out of here now. So I went to his hotel room, fucking barged in, told him to sit in the corner while she packed her shit, and he cried and we left. And he still comes to my stream. Is this TwitchCon? I don't remember what it was. I can't remember what any convention was. In streamer convention. They've got it. They're probably not any better now. I'd like to think they're better now. I don't know, dude. It's all fucked. And I don't know. Viewers watch with blinders or don't care. Which, again, I'm not here to tell you you gotta care about it all. I don't know, dude. I'm old and fucking tired. And I don't want to sit here and debate with you on whether or not you should watch good people or not. Fucking, if you can fucking separate the two, so be it. More power to you. Not my thing, but more power to you. But like, yeah. It's crazy the blinders people put on and act like they don't know what's going on. Your only TwitchCon? It was a good one, Doug. I don't know my last ones. I didn't do many. I haven't been in like 5 fucking years, dude. It's crazy to think. It still feels like this part of streaming, what I'm gonna call post-Kim streaming, is not that much of my life, but it's like the majority of it, which is pretty wild. A high mate, and they're already my religion. It was almost 8 years ago? Jesus. The whole Adderall craze too, and then like everyone acting like they were shocked, like fucking Man vs. Games stayed up for 9 days and it wasn't all natural. I just cannot fathom it. How is this true? Shock, awe. Like I love Man vs. Game as a human. I love Man vs. Game as a human. I don't know, but I enjoyed my time with him and had a lot of fun with him. He was a big part of why I'm here. I genuinely like was going to quit, and he very early on, and he fucking saved me from doing that. So he'll always have a special place for me for that reason. But like, dude was clearly fucking way off the deep end, and nobody wanted to say anything or do anything. And then when it finally came out, everyone's like, oh no, I didn't know that We were doing Adderall together. The amount of like I heard the same line so many times from so many different streamers about how like it's basically a cup of coffee, and I would always just answer, then why not just have the coffee? And nobody would ever hear me. To be fair, coffee is gross. Drug addiction is whatever, dude. And like the Man vs. Game one is the prime example of like I think something like Adderall, sure, lots of people can do it and not be addicted, whatever the fuck, blah 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 bullshit you want to say. We'll just skip that part of it. But like it became a thing for Man vs. Game that like he got all his praise and all his hype and all his success off streaming fucking 28 hours straight of the same boss uh, on Adderall. And when like you're constantly praised while you're on a drug, like I could easily see how fucking fast that would fuck your head up to think that you had to keep fucking doing it. Yeah, feeds addiction for sure. But also very sad to like, we can't control our audiences. And I remember man once telling me like, again, I'm an asshole, dude. I like straight up fucking asked him, dude. Like, doesn't it kill you seeing fucking people come in there, literally wanting to do what you're doing and be what you are, and you knowing that some of those are fucking kids? And like, yeah, it tore him up to know that like fucking he was promoting it, man. With the only ones who didn't realize was on drugs were just so naive. They're probably never gonna do drugs, right? They're the kind of person who they're that kid that came in my chat and was convinced their mom got AIDS from smoking, right? Like they just, yeah, they're just never gonna get it. Yeah, no, I don't like. I mean, I'm not trying to say anybody deserves to be condemned forever. I really hope Mammer's Game was gonna come back and just be an angry old man like me here on Twitch, but last I knew, he was loving the bowling alley, working at the bowling alley, which is like the perfect fit for him. So fucking rock on, dude. I mean, I don't know how that's a question, Zev. You prescribed it. Was he prescribed it and misused it? He stayed up for like 8 days straight. I'm pretty confident that when your doctor gives you Adderall, they they don't say now go forth and never sleep, young one. I would guess there's even like some warnings they give you when you pick it up at the pharmacy, like, hey, make sure you're eating and sleeping. This shit can be dangerous, dog. I get what you're trying to say. Like, a prescription getting turned into an addiction is a little bit of a different story than I guess. I don't think it really is that much of a different story. then I started doing it illegally. I don't know if you give a shit about the legal front. Who the fuck the law? Hentai Hunter. Thank you for the 4 months. Is that any different? Yeah, for sure, Zev. I don't think what you're doing is a good decision either. I don't think it's a great choice. Um, definitely not the intended use, correct, right? But there's a big difference between I decided to pull a 20. I mean, I do 24-hour days regularly without drugs, and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that's not healthy either. I know I shouldn't. I should manage my time better and make smarter decisions. Um, but I think comparing a one pill one day, to a 20 pill 4 day is a different story, right? And I don't know. I grew up around addicts, so listen. Anybody who's staying up for 4 days isn't just taking an extra pill. They're not even taking pills anymore. They're snorting them. Okay, they're not. We've moved past that. And when we can't get the drug we want, we substitute with alternatives that have a similar effect, and then claim we're just the addict of one. Like that's real addiction. That's Yeah, right. I'm not like I said. I'm not. I'm really not here to condemn most people. I mean, I condemned a couple tonight, but like, I'm an addict. Hi. You've seen me sit here and smoke and vape for 10 years. I'm not. It wasn't about man. That whole statement had nothing to do with man. Again, it's the lies from the rest of us. It's the lies from the rest of us. That night that man ended up fucking getting shut down, I had spent all afternoon not giving a fuck who was going to be mad at me, man versus game included, messaging every single person I knew, telling them to get his stream turned off. Um, and it wasn't going to happen, man, because it was hype. And then if they turned it off, they'd have to admit they knew it. Like he was their stage guy. He was the guy who was on stage at every con, every PAX. He was the face of conventions and Twitch. So like then they would have had to admit that not only were they fucking aware of it, they probably were involved in it. You're talking about a tech company. A bunch of young. What happened with him? I mean, just he stayed up for like 4 days. Again, it wasn't as much about man as it was about. He stayed up like 4 days on Adderall. It was a mess. He got to the point that he was like fucking taking micro naps and shit in the middle of his stream, and eventually had to like talk about it, and then has slowly faded away off Twitch for quite a while now, sadly. Um, and like I said, it was more about people on Twitch running around preaching about community and bleeding purple, while simultaneously we all fucking just turned a blind eye to one another and didn't actually care at all about one another. We just were waiting for the next opportunity to use somebody for financial gain. Living. boom, boom, boom. The human condition. I don't know about all that. I think can't beat 'em, join 'em mentality is strong in many. And I truly believe that a lot of people wanted to pretend like it wasn't bad. They wanted to pretend like all these charity marathons and bullshit were for the right reasons. And like that's still a debatable topic, but I've always argued against the charity streams. I think the majority of them are rooted in your own success and profit. And you just are hiding it under this charity tag. But like every charity I've ever been invited to has an underlying you're gonna grow from this. This is gonna be successful for you, beneficial for you. Like when I got flown down to St. Jude for their Play Live bullshit, it was just a party, man. Everybody fucking went to the hospital hungover. Everybody I knew that wanted to go was just to rub elbows, myself included. But I didn't realize how gross it was, I guess, until I witnessed more of it, you know? And I don't blame St. Jude for that. Again, I blame streamers and the streaming side of, sure, we can raise a bunch of money for you, but we're going to do it, and we're going to fucking love every second of it. So that's the debate, right? If you still manage to do good, does it matter if it's for the right reason or not? Great debate. My issue with that is lots of people didn't do good. Lots of people never did shit. And just went for the connections. Which, like I said, myself included. I ended up leaving it because I found St. Jude to be the most difficult experience of my life. I got in trouble and everything for leaving the campus. I walked off the guided tour and found a place to smoke at a cancer research hospital. I ended up finding a smoking section. They had one. They told me they didn't. Liars. So fuck you for being mad at me, telling me I'm not welcome back. You lied to me. There was a smoking section by the residents where they like let they actually have families come and stay there because they get fucking cancer patients from around the world for research, right? And I ended up in a fucking smoking section with a mom and her daughter who had been there as a child for whatever cancer she had that was being researched, survived, and was back for like follow-up work 15 years later or something like that. And that was like the only part of it that like gave me any joy and satisfaction was chain smoking cigarettes with them and like seeing the positive side of it, because like the fucking first day of the tour was like just P is for pain from the needles the doctors stick in me and shit like that. It was fucking I was just crying for like 3 hours straight until I just fucking disappeared from the tour. Yeah, seeing a real person and a real survivor and not somebody who's since they survived been hired to talk about their experience, but like someone who Yeah, it was fucking miserable, dude. Like, it was awful. Ugh. And the whole place is wrapped in barbed wire fence, so you like I couldn't get out, so I'm just fucking wandering around trying to figure out how the fuck to get out and smoke. And then I found my salvation, a nice nicotine stained bus stop thing. I was like, fuck yeah. Oh, dude, the walls are just covered in all these like fucking poems written by sick kids that were all awful and made your fucking heart shrivel. I cried at a fucking Hallmark commercial though, so like, listen, get me out. I don't know what I was thinking going there. And like crying for a second's one thing, but I just felt like I was surrounded by it. And then every time you like look away from these terribly sad poems, here would be like three kids rolling by in a wagon with bald heads and like, I'm not strong enough for this. Get me the fuck out. Dun, dun. Yeah, they pull all the kids in wagons instead of wheelchairs. Very cute. Like cute for them, I think. I don't know. As a parent, I think it's a smart idea to not give them the like shock and awe of seeing a million wheelchairs roll by. Uh, as an adult, it was it's you know I can read between the lines and still see the fucking misery of it all, regardless. Yeah, working at kids' hospital. Yeah, man. I mean, they've done amazing things. Like I don't know, charity's a fucking a sore spot for me. It's weird, and I don't trust nobody. But like, I mean, they seem there's a lot of good intention there. You know, all their research is shared. Everything they do is open source. You can fucking get online and read all of St. Jude's research and shit like that is really interesting. That's all, but it's not a hospital for patients. It's a hospital for research. A lot of people don't realize that either. Like, you can't call up St. Jude and be like, yo, my kid's got cancer. What's it going to cost me? They'll be like, what kind of cancer? No, thanks. We're not interested. You got to have some fucking real cool one that we're currently doing a research study on, or we aren't taking you. Well, and that's where I really support the St. Jude's idea of at least trying to share the information, because I mean, obviously, when you've got 95 different cancer charities for every type of cancer, all competing for funds, that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Boom, boom. And the fact that it's like a charity thing at all to begin with, and not just like something humanity one is working on, but like something that my TV is constantly, every single fast food, gas station, Dollar General, blah de blah de blah I go to is asking me to round up to the next dollar for whatever the fuck charity. So that they can fucking sit on my money and make interest off it for even a day. You fucking. I like the ones for kids. There's always ones like, would you like? I think it's McDonald's is always like, would you like to round up to the for the next dollar to support children doing something? And I'm like, I'm already supporting my own children. Thank you. Which I know is shitty to the employee who doesn't need that awkward, this being forced to say that and doesn't need that awkward interaction, but like it makes me feel better, and sometimes you gotta be a little bit selfish so you don't go crazy. Really, Ralph. So I know it's all fucked. Hey, rocking for the 87 months. I don't know. Yeah. Don't tell. Don't tell. Oh, McDonald House isn't a bad thing? Sure. I don't think the majority of them intend to be a bad thing. It's just there's bad things involved in it, and certainly bad people involved in it. And greed. It's that old greed factor. I figure if they can be greedy, I'm allowed to be greedy as well. It's my money. Listen, whatever their reasoning is, I don't care. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm a good human being on the daily to regular ass people. That's my charity. That's all I got. I can't do it financially. I can't knowingly support fucking insane CEO salaries of charities. I have a friend from high school who has a fucking master degree in nonprofit, and she's worked for like a dozen charities. And I don't think it's because she's passionate about the cause. It's because she's chasing that dollar bill, y'all. Uh, so yeah, I ain't giving him nothing. Shit, I'm the guy that for like 3 years before I started streaming, every single time I pumped gas, I'd intentionally go over 3 cents and take the pennies out of the tray. Because I figured in a long enough timeline, like that shit's adding up. I mean, yeah, I didn't say nobody deserves to get paid. You killed my guinea pig that I literally just tamed, you bastard. Zev, I'm gonna need you to stop spelling illegal as illegal for me to take any of your points seriously tonight, because I just keep thinking about a poor, sick, bald eagle, and honestly, I want to raise money for him. Like, can we get a little donation going for this ill eagle in chat? I promise that all or none of your proceeds will go to this sick eagle that may or may not exist. He's very ill. Some might say the illest. How to pet vulture? That's just redneck shit. That's barely a story. In my neck of the woods, that's barely a story. Thank you, Vidar, for streaking for the ill eagle. He's feeling better. Oh, it's a green giant. Thank you, thank you. 100% of your proceeds may or may not go to an eagle that's sick or ill. And you should be proud of that. Make sure you are. The Duke mascot? It's a blue devil. I think that mascot is regularly repeated across America. Fucking eagles. I was bitching about eagles yesterday. They like my whole childhood. I thought it's gonna be tight. It'd be tight to have eagles, and now we have them, and they're really annoying, and could do without. Thank you for the 8 months. Yeah, we're doing charity for potentially sick birds. Also, this is not a tax write-off for you. Probably not for me either, but possibly for both of us. Oh god, how many is that? Assemble! Thank you to Green Giant. Somebody really supports and understands the importance of saving eagle health. But for real though, they're fucking everywhere. Honestly, I wish my mom would use more hairspray again. No matter burrito, thank you, thank you, thank you. Once we have enough money, we'll definitely find a sick bird to give some of that fucking ching-ching to, you know? Birds need money too. Seen the cost of medical care in this country? Eagles everywhere are struggling. Probably. Just lay a bunch of cash at an eagle's feet. Watch him build a nest out of it. I'm helping. Oh, look at that hype train for the eagle. Cacaw. Tactical retreat. I feel like we wounded a good number, and now we shall retreat and allow them to bleed. Van Marino, thank you for gifting a sub towards our Ill Eagle Fund. Truly the illest. What hurts more, an arrow or a bullet? It depends on the bullet, I think. I would say usually the arrow. I feel like almost always the arrow. Like if the bullet gets big enough, pain's irrelevant. You dead, you know? Depends on the bullet for sure. But like, I don't know, dude. Do you think arm torn off by a 50 cal is worse than like arms dead with an arrow sticking through it and you still got to get that bitch out? Yeah, probably. You're probably right. I'm with you. But yeah, it's like I would say it's a bullet dependent, but usually the arrow. I mean, maybe could heal. Depends again where you're shot, but like. You take a bullet 100% of the time. My fucking fiance's cousin shot himself in the chest with an arrow. And not a crossbow bolt, an arrow from a bow. That's relevant. I feel like you have to include that little factoid. And I just can't get over it. How the hell? Drugs. Mostly drugs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Carnith, it's not looking good for you, friend. Not Tyrell. It's fucking Neanderthals, isn't it? Neanderthals. I always underestimate how fucking annoying they are because they just won't lay down until they're dead. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of calibers on the smaller side, Duck. And I'm taking those over an arrow. Though, again, arrows, you could argue the same thing. Like, we talking a broadhead or we talking fucking a field tip? I don't really want to eat either, but one's coming out of there a lot easier than the other. Yeah, shot himself in the chest. Did this, shot himself in the chest with an arrow, came out of his room with an arrow sticking out of his fucking chest. He didn't die, by the way. He just fucking walked out into the house, into his whole family with an arrow sticking out of his chest. Yeah, drugs are crazy. They were like making their own DMT or some shit. And he went on like a long trip to Crazy Town. You both had to stop to breastfeed while people bleed out. That's fair. Babies are important too. And now he's in prison. That's fair. It's understandable. Why DMT? I don't fucking. Of all that whole story, your question is why DMT? Crazy. Honestly. Fucking, there's a whole lot of bad choices that were made in that story. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. I feel you'd rather be shot by a crossbow. I don't know, man. It's like the get cut by a sharp knife or a dull knife thing. Crossbow's a much smaller bolt going a lot fucking faster. Steel bolts barbed. What the fuck kind of crossbow are you shooting? What are you fucking trying to bring down griffins? Like, what is this? Fucking what? What are you killing with it? Nah, bro. Nah. I got a crossbow right here. They're fucking darts. Look, they're darts. Penetrate me. Carbon fiber, not steel. Like, yeah, you don't want this fucking... This broadhead to open up inside you? I don't even know how this one works. I ain't gonna play with it. I've cut myself fucking with mechanical broadheads before. Sure, you don't want that opening up inside you, but like, the bolt itself is a dart. It's tiny. And carbon fiber. And going fucking as fast as a bullet. Fuck, it probably shoots faster than some. I'm holding all my friend's weapons while his sister stays with him out of prison. So I happen to have a crossbow bolt laying around. Yeah, that's one where the head opens into long blades. Oh no, they're not faster than any bullet that I know of. They're 400 feet per second. I thought they were faster than that. I was just looking at 45. It's the slowest one I know off the top of my head. It's regular 800 feet per second. They're naturally subsonic. Yeah, the 45 is naturally a subsonic speed. Just it's just slow. It's just a man killer. It's made for the soft, supple flesh of a human being and the human being alone. I have a 45. It's fine for whatever the fuck I don't need it for. Can't do anything with it, but shoot steel or something. You are. I also have a 41 Magnum, which is my favorite gun to get told I'm wrong that I own. Because everyone's like, "You mean a 44?" And I'm like, "No, it's a 41." And they're like, "Nah, you have a 44." And I'm like, "No." And it's a whole thing every single time I try to find ammo for it. Nah, Tyrell was a cook and the warden. No, no. 1911 is like a very popular type of 45. Like an old man's Glock. Let's call it that, for simplicity's sake. Like an old man's Glock. People just really like it. Probably not in Canada, Green Giant. You said you're Canada, right? It has zero has zero hunting capability. As we discussed, it's like one of the slowest shooting handguns. So has little to zero value to a Canadian. It couldn't penetrate a bear or a moose. And literally a gun designed to shoot slow so the bullet tumbles and rips and tears and is lethal to unarmored human beings. It's a fine home defense weapon, I guess. I mean, unless you're worried you're going to be, if you care about home defense, or you're worried you're going to be raided by men in armor. Yeah, like I said, it's not a hunting weapon. It has zero hunting value. is an anti-personnel weapon only. One of those handguns, I believe, really has no purpose. Like I said, no purpose, no point in being sold to the public because it's only good for murder. We're gonna die, and this is upsetting. It's alright. I'll just have to wait for the DLC. Does it penetrate chainmail? Important question. Important question. Start a YouTube channel and try it out for yourself. Don't actually do that, but I saw this guy killed himself with his crazy stunts YouTube channel by having his wife shoot him with a fucking Desert Eagle while holding a phone book. Like, death isn't that funny, but it is a little when you're dumb, and you deserve it. Yeah, Deagle. I'm impressed he shot it to begin with and hit him. I couldn't. I'd have missed, for sure. She didn't like him. I don't know. She was pregnant with his child when she killed him with the Deagle for a YouTube stunt, so. That's also just not a it's not a stunt. Even Jackie Chan's tapping out of that one. No, I'm not doing my own stunts. Nine out of 10 is good enough. Nah, dude, they probably just saw another YouTube video. Fucking my fiance almost burned my face off telling me to fucking clean something the way she saw on TikTok. Which is sketchy. It was microwaving vinegar and water in the fucking microwave, obviously. And when I went to grab the vinegar and water, apparently the water evaporates underneath the vinegar. So as soon as I disturbed the surface of the vinegar, it just went poosh and erupted fucking hot lava. No ham tapping for the 114 months, the 11th. Bet it smelled great. It didn't smell like it at all. It was just fear of dying. Apparently it's like my mom and her grandma were like, yeah, I've cleaned my microwave that way. You just don't microwave it as long as they had you, and you definitely don't touch it for a while. And they're like, you can also just use like soapy water. It's easier. And I was like, oh, that feels safer. She probably just didn't watch the whole video thinking, this is fine. It wasn't. She came out of the bedroom and I just looked her dead in the face and said, don't ever tell me to do anything you saw on TikTok again. Doom, 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 doom. What streamer money? She makes more money than I do. As a part-time waitress. Plus, she already owns the home. It's hers. I'm the one mooching. Nah, she works at a little breakfast place. A tiny little diner. Yeah, I've told her many times over she didn't realize how much of a catch she was. Only one kid, only one baby daddy to deal with, and she's a homeowner. That's hard to find in your 30s. Yeah, the whole place is just old farmers. But they're like, come in 4 times a day and leave $1. That's how we met. Yeah. The diner I used to eat at. Used to, I say, because now I'm not as frequent of a goer. Usually because she's at work and I'm at home with the kids. And like, I ain't paying to feed them all. That's crazy talk. Not welcome there anymore. It's true. The old men are all plotting which one of them is going to get to have a marital affair with her. They call it a marital affair too, so you know it's legit. She doesn't bring home food. Breakfast doesn't carry well. There's like no part of breakfast that does well in a to-go box. Yeah, house husband dream. Even toast is fucked up in a to-go box. It gets all weird. Yeah, eggs are fine. That's about the only one. We actually eat there more together than I eat there on my own now. We eat there more on our off days because neither of us feel like making breakfast when the kids are at school. Eggs get soggy. Eggs are soggy. What the fuck? Y'all eating dry ass eggs regularly? I don't see what other word you would even want to use to describe eggs. Firm and dry? No, no, no. I'm not talking about reheating eggs. I'm talking about taking eggs in a to-go box home. They do a fuck ton of to-go food. It surprises me because really I think it just does not do well. Moist? Moist and soggy are so close, bro. Especially with something like an egg. It's mushy. What, you gonna go with mushy instead of soggy? Moist and mushy? That sounds a lot like soggy, bro. You're definitely teetering on soggy, at least. Oh, you're talking about the toast getting soggy. Yeah, it gets weird. Like, simultaneously hard and soggy? It's hard and wet? Mm. I love a good wet scrambled egg. I'm a little freak, though. Gordon Ramsay's eggs look incredible, and I want them inside me. Yeah, give me them wet ass eggs. So I don't need scrambled eggs anymore? Ugh, I love scrambled eggs. I do a scrambler frequently. Eggs, fried potatoes, some kind of meat, just cheese, just all tossed together. Toast. The key to breakfast is toast, honestly. Like I feel like fucking without it, eggs are just pretty shit. But eggs plus toast is like a perfect combination. Ham? No, I usually do saucy. I'm more of a saucy guy than a ham guy. Not a big ham guy. I'd do bacon before. I'd go saucy, ham, or bacon, then ham if that was the only option. And honestly, I might still try to skip out. I might still... Don't feed fucking human corpses to our prisoners. Bad. I'd like fucking ask if they had chorizo or some shit before I'd do ham. Over medium's fine. Over easy. I'm not an egg. I'm not that picky with eggs, dude. Just egg me. Poach them. I don't care. Just give me that toast to go with it. I'm eating it. I don't gotta look at my egg to see the white is runny. I'll just eat it. I think eggs are underrated. They're so valuable and needed for so many other great things too. On top of being like a fucking breakfast staple. Breakfast without an egg is it even breakfast? Hard boiled eggs fuck as well. Bow, bow, bow. Oh no, my guinea pig miscarried. What time is it? I can't stay up very late again tonight because it's my last night with my kiddo. Yeah. We fucked up all our hard boiled eggs on Easter and I was mad. Dude, I was so excited to eat those like slightly dyed eggs where it absorbed through the shell. You know, I hadn't done that since I was a kid. I was real excited. But then we left them out too long. Oh yeah, you want them to get messy and mixed with your meats. Fuck yeah, Sparrow. Midnight 15. I should probably sleep before too long. I gotta take my damn kid to school at 7. I get to go on her kid's first field trip. Pretty stoked. She's not happy, obviously, but I'm pretty stoked. Both of us are fucked this year. She has to work every other week during his t-ball games, and I have my fishing tournaments every other week during Alice's softball games. So we are like competing over who gets to see whose kid do what. When do I get to wear the "I'm not the stepdad, I'm the dad that stepped up" shirt? I don't think I'll ever wear that shirt. I'm sorry. I mean, I think technically, seeing as he went to prison yesterday, I could start wearing it now, like legally. I think that might have been part of his fucking prison conditions. But it's a weird one, man. The kids is such a fucking. We talked about it a little bit last night, but it's just such a fucking strange age for dad went to prison and him understanding it and what's that gonna mean for their relationship. Like, I don't know, dude. It's hard. You know, almost don't want him to fuck. You don't even almost don't want to talk about it at all because fuck, he's 4. He could just fucking be happy and not be sad at all. But at the same time, that's fucked up. It's 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 certainly something we've discussed a lot where we don't really know the best answer. That's basically what we told him. I mean, he made bad choices and he can't come around for quite a long time. The kid doesn't understand what a long time. A long time to him is fucking 15 minutes if he's got nothing to do. You know, you're talking about 4. 4-year-olds still don't understand that like the world existed before them. I did one to him the other day that like I never even thought about with Alice, but like we drove by a guy sitting on his porch, and I was like, "See that guy on his porch, Silas?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, "Silas, where's that guy that was on his porch?" And like he was like, I don't think he realized he was already. He's like still at that point where he doesn't realize that motherfucker might exist still. He left my eyesight. Like I don't fuck. And I'm explaining to him all the things that man on the porch might be doing, and he's like, ah. But now he just thinks I should know what everyone is doing, so it kind of backfired. We drove by a dude on a motorcycle today. Why do you think that guy's riding that motorcycle, Andy? My name's Richard, by the way, not Andy. Um, I don't think I've ever done that in like 10 years. But yeah, now he's just like asking me what people are up to and what they're thinking, and I'm like, dude, that you fucking failed the test. The point is, we don't know. Never heard me do it. Yeah, I don't know. It might have been a. It's it's partly because no one called me Andy, right? Like no one in my life called me Andy. Kim never called me Andy. I don't know what she just didn't call me. Hence the divorce. uh, sorry. Um, and yeah, obviously my daughter doesn't call me by my not name Andy. What the fuck was Kim's dad doing on my stream? Oh, Nerds vs. Nature, yeah. That old redneck. Am I the kid from Toy Story? I don't think so, but like, I had a lot of childhood trauma, might have blocked that out. I like to think that I blocked out the good as well as the bad, and not that there just wasn't much good. Sorry, that's too dark. That's how this thing for the 65 months. Oh, don't be sad, chat, you fucking babies. That was funny. Well, at least one person did a crying pig. The universal sign of sadness to me. Followed by a laugh. Oh. Now listen, I saw the sad and got scared. It was relatable, right? My fiance's parents are incredible. And it's not relatable. It's very weird to me. She doesn't understand why I'm like overly nice to them. But I just think they're like really good people. So they probably have corpses all over their backyard. But they're like really good people. She's adopted. Her dad's a saint. She's adopted just by her dad. He's a saint. And they're just really nice. And like they gave her a pretty good and normal childhood without a fucking, you know, bunch of trauma. She went and made her own trauma. At a girl. Didn't want to have a boring childhood. But like it wasn't their fault. I feel like the worst childhood trauma she talks about is that she got braces. Shit fucked her up though, dude. She's been through some shit, but the thing she like genuinely seems to be most traumatized by is braces. I didn't have them. You know why. So I can't really relate if they were that bad or not. But she makes it sound horrendous. think Alice has to get braces soon. Fuck, we need to raise more money for that sick eagle. That may or may not be my daughter. The DNA test isn't in. No, my daughter's mine. I made my daughter and my father do those ancestry DNA kits because I couldn't do one and be, that would be too suspicious. Which I was thinking about the other day, like how fucked up I would have been if it turned out those two weren't related. But then I was thinking, fuck, it could have been me. No, I look too much like my father. We're like twins. Some fucking old lady the other day like stopped me in the store to be like, you look exactly like your father did at that age. And I was like, I hate you. May death come quickly, old lady. Actually, I'm still fucked up. She was my best friend that died. You've heard the story about my best friend that died back in school. It's his mom. And like we were talking about his dad. And I like had never really asked her. When you're a kid, you don't think about things like, how the fuck do you know his dad? And she told me it was her ex-husband's best friend. So her last kid was revenge sex, is basically what she told me. And she's like, you're old enough now, you can understand. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You done fucked yourself, though, because he was a real loser. Humans do some fucked up shit, man. I moved like a town or two over from where I was living, and like, boy, it's tough out here. The amount of fucking redneckery and the stories I've heard of fucking just horrible relationships is insane. Insane. The last thing my ex-wife told me for why she couldn't be with me anymore was we didn't have the same taste in music, right? But like I know a girl right now who's living with a dude solely because when she left he killed her dog. I'm not laughing at a dead dog. I'm laughing at like, fuck, man. Some guys fucking can kill dogs and get away with it. I know, right? Could you imagine going back to somebody who killed your fucking dog? She doesn't know she knows. She likes to act like she doesn't know that he did it, but motherfucker did it. His grandma like straight up told her, "Go look here in the woods." And like again, I have to laugh cuz it's Psycho, and I don't know what else to do but laugh. Think she's scared of him? I don't think sadly I don't think that's true. I think there is an insane amount of people, men and women, who lie so hard to themselves about the good times and this idea of what their relationship is, could be, was. It's insanity. And I have seen so much of it lately that I want to fucking gouge my eyes and ears out because It's disgusting. Like revenge sex and having a kid. Like, fuck, man. I didn't even knew. She did that like fucking 36 years ago. Did I ever have revenge sex in my whole life? I've been revenge sexed against. Swapping partners with someone's cousin. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at, too. There's one dude down the road with me that has 2 kids with 2 sisters. Like, that's fucked. No, not in like a my man kind of way, in like a fucking revenge sex kind of way. Like, sisters don't like each other fighting over a man. He got them both pregnant and isn't with either of them. What does that even make the kids? Brother cousins? Yeah, cousin siblings. And I've told you a million times, but I'll never stop saying it. My fucking fiance, we had to go to a wedding last year, and she was a bridesmaid in her half brother's wedding. Her estranged half brother's wedding. While the father, her actual biological father, who abandoned her as a baby, sat and watched his son get married. He had to also look at the girl, his daughter, whom he abandoned as a bridesmaid. And everyone whispering about it the whole fucking wedding. It was beautiful, honestly. It was poetry. Just by coincidence, her best friend married her half brother. That she didn't know. Like, she knows it's her half brother. Like, it's a small enough town that she knows it's her half brother. But they weren't friends and they never associated as brother and sister because her dad abandoned her as a baby. And then hung around. And then hung around. Like, listen, if I was gonna abandon my child, I would leave. I'd be like, man, making bad choices. Let's fucking find some new faces. Nah. I'm gonna stay in the same town of 6,000 people or whatever. Yeah, his first interaction with her as an adult was asking her if he could get weed on the cheap. Which, respectable father stuff. And then it was him asking if they could try to have a relationship, and her being like, nah, bro, I'm good. And him just showing up at her work with his entire family. Good people. Got the psychite addiction? This game's shit. We can grow it now. I'm gonna start growing, actually. Just for fun, mainly. I got a little sprout going. I'm pretty proud of him. I'm gonna name him Steve. Oh, for sure. My brother's girlfriend is real weird about her mother. She has abandonment issues. I believe the term is abandonment issues, but She had two parents that adopted her, and like they bought her horses and shit. They were like decent-ish people. They're a little weird. They're old. They're a little weird. They raised her. She's 20. Recently reconnected with her mother, and all she. The weird part is, she talks about her all the time and doesn't differentiate when she says mom, which I find really strange. I've known a lot of people who've been in situations like that, obviously, but like she'll be talking about it and say, my mom, as if she's just talking about her, the woman that fucking raised her for the last 19 years, not the woman that fucking gave her up. I don't think adoption is a bad thing. I think there are situations where fucking, you know, you made the right choice by doing it. Don't get me wrong. Just find it weird when, I don't know. I have so much respect for anyone who's